Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I hope that everybody is fine. I welcome you all to my 39th lecture. The topic that is on the anvil, the topic that is under discussion is interview skills. In my previous lecture, I had told you in detail and I had a detailed discussion about definition of interview. Right now, I am going to move forward and I'm going to discuss the next topic. The next subtopic of this topic is which is types of interviews. Here I will discuss and I will explain some of the most important types of interviews and then we'll skip the later on and we will move forward. So generally here are a couple of types of interviews and those are face-to-face interview, behavioral interview, phone interview, panel interview, exit interview, stress interview, and technical interview. Here we will discuss some of the important types of interviews. The very first one is face-to-face interviews. What happens basically in face-to-face interviews? This is a traditional interview and the most common type. This is a very traditional interview and the most common type means here uh, an interviewer and interviewee meets and have couple of questions and then there's a mixture of ideas and then they share questions with each other. In this interview the candidate and the interviewer meets face to face. Definitely when you are in office, when you are looking at each other physically, it becomes a face to face interview. Although there are different types of interview where you do not meet face to face, you call somebody, call somebody through video or you have an audio call and then you conduct the lecture. The next one is the main concept of the interview is to build rapport with the interviewer and show how the qualifications will benefit their organization. This is the main purpose of this interview is to build the rapport, means to build the importance, to build the significance of the interviewee with the interviewer, and the interviewee will show that how qualifications means how abilities, how qualities, how skills, how talent will benefit one's organization. When you are being interviewed, basically you are interviewed for the sake of obtaining job. And when you appear in an interview, the interviewer has said in his or her mind that I am conducting the interview for this thing, and I want my interviewee to come to my expectations. These are the certain things that I want and expect from my interviewee. So people basically do paperwork first of all, and then they go and then they ask questions and then they select the candidate for their job. The interviewee should maintain eye contact and respond to all questions of the interviewer. It's a very general fact. In the last case, means in the last topic, presentation, means in presentation eye contact was important. So does is here. The interviewee should maintain eye contact and respond to all the questions of the interviewer. It's very important that interviewer should maintain eye contact. If interviewer will not make an eye contact, once again it will be regarded, it will be it will be known that interviewee is not confident, he or she is not skilled, he or she is not prepared, he or she is not qualified one. Therefore, he or she is not maintaining an eye contact. So, and later on, he or she does respond uh, to all questions of the interviewer. Each question should not go unanswered, unnoticed, and unnoted. So all these questions should be answered properly, and these answers should be coupled with couple of examples. Later on, the next kind of interview type is behavioral interview. Let's skip it, and then we have is phone interviews. Telephone interviews take place if a recruiter wishes to dwindle down the number of prospective candidates before deciding on a short list for face-to-face interviews. What happens basically, a person who selects you for the job, he or she calls you through phone in order to save the time, in order to cut the number of the candidates. For example, we have 100 candidates, those who have qualified the job. Now it's very, very, very long that we will have a meeting face to face, and interviewer will come and they will ask questions, so it will take a long and huge time. So what they do, they simply call you through phone, and then they ask you a couple of questions, and if you respond them clearly, effectively, positively, then you get yourself shortlisted for the next step, for the next stage, and that is face to face interview. Means then they will have a short list for face to face interviews. Now when you are being interviewed on the phone, be calm, be fresh. Does not matter if you do not know them, does not matter if you are unable to talk to them easily. It happens basically when you talk to somebody through phone, there are couple of problems. So they also take place if a job applicant is a significant distance away from the premises of the hiring company, such as abroad or in another state. And one of the facts after this one is basically if the applicant is at a significant distance. For example, if you live in America and you have applied for the scholarship of China, and then basically there's a great distance, so it's difficult for you to go there, to move there, and to appear in an interview. Or for example, you are living in Islamabad and you have to appear in an interview at Karachi, so it's difficult for you to travel there and then appear in an interview. And it's difficult for the interviewers as well, that they have minimum time to attend interview of maximum people. So it's a challenging task, so therefore they conduct interview through cell phones. Later on, the next one is panel interview. Panel means a selection committee that is appointed for interviewing the candidate. Panel may include 3 or 5 members. Questions are asked to candidate about different aspects, and marks are given to each candidate. Final decisions are taken by all the members collectively by rating the candidates. Inshallah, I'll let you know about this type of interview in my next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay blessed, stay at your home. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.